We track student growth here at Elgin through our PLC. Our teachers track it based on students' unit assessment, and they look at individual data for students for each unit assessment and the growth that students make from assessment to assessment. The teachers will put their data in from Eduphoria and track how their students grow, and then there's a growth piece for the students as well. We do track student growth through Google Document. That is a document that we have for all of our teachers here that's also shared with the administrators. So as a principal, I can always go in if I want to see 8th grade science, 8th grade math, I have access to those documents. Our core tested teachers, they come in PLC in a data room every day. They're in here, they're planning based on the data that they've had, or they are not only look at how students performed, if they are growing, but we also look at how they performed on TEKS. We look at bringing in student work to see what strategies are they using, and so a lot goes on in this PLC room. One thing I like about the accountability system now is that it's not just about if students passed or met, it's looking at individual growth, and that's huge for Elgin Middle School with the population that we service. We may not be at the 90% passing, but I do feel like we can add value, and each student that walks in our door has the opportunity to grow, because I do feel like that's something that we should be doing as educators. We have over 1,000 students on a middle school campus, and so if anybody worked with middle school, like that's a huge challenge in itself to have students that are middle school age. So our 8th grade math students just took the mock STAR, where we had students in small groups, just like we do for STAR, where they took the Release 2018 STAR test in a 4-hour time block. We looked at their raw score that they made on the mock, because it was a Release STAR, and then also the prediction of how many more questions they need to have right to get growth for the 2019. So there may be a student A that scored 18 questions right on 2018 STAR, but for us to get growth, they may need to have 21 questions. So we want the teachers to know, but then also the teachers are having those individual conversations with the students about, this is where you were last year, we need you to be here, and setting goals for students as well with growth. I think it's important to build capacity in your teacher leaders, because really they do the groundwork. They have to have ownership and buy-in, because if they don't believe in why we tracking the student data, then it doesn't happen. I think it's important that they know the value and the why, and when you build teacher leaderships, then the work gets done. Each of my teachers that track this, they get 2 conference periods. They get one that they PLC every day to do this work, and then they do have their regular conference period. And also when we have our staff development day, we give them time to enter this data. So I think the big part as a leader is, if it's important, then we have to find the time to ensure that it gets done and give the teachers the time that they need.